Hello, this is Greg Gaussman, Green Greg. It's coming to you on the 29th of July, 21, time on deck, 23:03, 100 hours Central Daylight Time. Will World War III get started by cyber attack? I mean, can a cyber attack actually launch a nuclear war? Sounds insane, sounds crazy. How could that happen? Well, let me tell you, my friends, it just so happens that President Biden thinks so. As a matter of fact, he just said, I think it's more likely that we're going to end up, if we end up in a war, a real shooting war with a major power, he's talking about China or Russia here, which is a World War III, it's going to be as a consequence of a cyber breach of great consequence. Wow, really? That merits some discussion. We're going to get all into that. But, and we're going to talk about some other related things, like a map of where World War III is likely to occur. And they don't have cyber in it. and speculation about this dangerous arms race starting up with all the building going on into China. And we'll mention earthquakes in Alaska just briefly at the end. So buckle up, guys. I'll bring you this in my series of keeping your eyes wide open and the head on the swivel. The reason for that, why? Is so you'll learn how to survive, thrive, and stay out of the hive, mainly by prepping and being aware of what's going on around you. Because that's what I try to bring to you. So if you're not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe and bang the update notification bell and click all so you can get all of my great, wonderful videos. Now, I do videos, some of those great, wonderful videos are things like I did a couple of videos about going to box stores and buying, you know, rice and beans for prepping and other things that you have to be aware of that you need, just daily stuff, cleaning supplies, shampoo, alcohol. But also cover things like how to eat free from the weeds and the trees. Now, you can't beat eating free. Might be a little bit deficit in calories and carbs, but you know, or protein really, proteins and calories. But you can get certainly a lot of vitamins and nutrients from the wild edibles, and if you luck out, you can cover all that other stuff too. So, and I do cover that in videos. Plus, I also cover such things like gardening. You really got to grow your own garden and have a garden where you can grow your stuff to have them go to the store. You need to have your own way of making your fertilizers and pesticides. And I'll show you how to do that with the products of worm farming. All right, my friends. And finally, to help you cover that deficit in calories and proteins and just have a good backlog of food, especially if your garden goes bust due to a hailstorm or grasshoppers or marauding zombies, I have a special deal just for you. Yes, $300 off a 3-month supply of food that lasts for 25 years, 2,000 calories a day with breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Buying this will make you a winner. You get 6 of these buckets for a 3-month supply, 2 of them for a 1-month supply, which you get about 25% off, which is on order of $74 and some change. So guys, this is only like, you know, with the $300 off, that's like $2.60 per meal. I mean, guys, you can't beat that. I mean, come on. This is stuff that's portable. It comes in durable containers that you can stack and pack and take out with you wherever you get on the track. So you can't beat it, guys. Check it out. So let's get on into this now. We're going to talk some, and I'm going to talk about some of the stuff happening, the cyber war aspect of it. So what happened is on Tuesday, U.S. President Biden issued a warning at the office of the Director of National Intelligence, highlighting cyber threat concerns from Russia and China. So when he says major power, we know he's talking about. That's exactly who he's talking about. The Biden administration has made the cybersecurity top priority following attacks on U.S. entities such as software company SolarWinds, Colonial Pipeline Company. Remember that it was right around here. We were out of gas here. Meat processing company JBS, and also tech firm Chrosniak. So, and you know, he said the cyber attacks of these companies had a major impact. See, the other language, major impact, right? In some cases, it affected fuel and food, as we know. And then Biden made that big statement, of course, saying that I think it's more. So let me repeat this. He said, Mr. Biden said, President Biden. Interesting article here says Mr. Biden. Huh? See that, President? All right, so bear with me, guys. So he said, I think it's more than likely that we're going to end up, if we end up in a war, a real shooting war with a major power, He's already talking about Russia and China. And who else are the major powers? It's going to be a consequence of a cyber breach of great consequence. I used consequence twice in that statement. Oh, well, he's not the most eloquent with words, right? So that is it, guys. That is a huge statement. So as we know, in March of 2020, thousands of companies in the United States, government and various government agencies, and thousands of companies received a routine update on a software, and they didn't know to them that there was hiding in that a little bitty piece of harmful code allegedly put there by Russian military hackers. And 9 months later, it was discovered by a company called FireEye, and they found it. They found this stuff, and SolarWinds through this reported 18,000 of its customers had downloaded this compromised software. And then we saw what happened with the Colonial Pipeline. And lately it's been, you know, the Microsoft by China. So Russia, China, supposedly all involved in this. Well, you know, we don't know. But guys, okay, so here's what bugs me about it. Let me stop the share. Maybe I'm not even sharing. Yeah, I'm not. Okay. Here's what bugs me about all that. Cyber attack. Yeah, you're firing back at other countries that have nukes. This could escalate very fast. How do you counterattack them? You know, if we have a response, it be commensurate with the level of damage done. A nuclear war is not, it's all over. I mean, that ends everything. You don't win. There's no real winners of a nuclear war. There may be more survivors in one place than another, but does that make you a winner when you come out of the hole and the world's smoking around you? Is that, what kind of win is that? We won, we won. What do we win? Charcoal. Yeah, there's no win in that. There's no win. It's a great thing we're talking about here. And I really think maybe given that it's been so many decades since we've had a major world war, like World War II, you know, back in the 40s now, into the 45. It's so long since we've had a war like that. And since we've actually used nuclear weapons in a war, maybe the world has lost touch of what it really means. Maybe we've become cavalier about it. So maybe we're more likely to do stupid stuff now because we're more cavalier. The Russians have made a lot of crazy statements lately. Biden just made a crazy statement. The Chinese are making crazy statements. You know, nuking a country that don't even have nukes and nuke them continuously until they surrender. If they send one man or one ship to protect an island that they're claiming to liberate. Yeah, guys, it's bizarre. And, you know, Russia saying he can sink a British ship. And they won't start World War III. Yeah, we can sink a British ship. Maybe. Maybe not. Is it worth its risk? And the fact that people, world leaders, are kicking these kind of statements around, very, very concerning. Now, you know, see, that's the problem. It's, you got to guess the intent of the other person and all these things in these different countries. And there's a lot of room for miscalculation, misjudgment, miserrors, or overconfidence on the side of the one guy who wants to sink their ship. Hey, I'll sink their ship. They're not going to, this is not going to escalate the nuclear war because these guys know we're going to win. That's what Putin said. Wow. Now, I did show you why he thinks that, because they got the heck of a bunker system in Moscow. What do you come up to? What's on the surface when you're done? The world's going to be messed up. It's going to be whacked. You have a nuclear winter and radiation. It's not going to be a pretty place. Now, for my friends, I got a couple of young friends, a guy named Andrew, who's all worried death. I thought, well, yeah, it's survival. You know, the war itself, the warheads itself, the nuclear power plant, so we're going to make it far harder to survive if we don't get something done. Get that uranium out of spent fuel rod pools and put it in better storage, or you know, and harden our power grid. There's several things we can do to make it easier to get through some of these bad times, but we won't have to push it. And that's what I'm worried about. You know, we're not pushing these things. So again, cyber attack. Well, what is it in a cyber attack that could be commensurate with a level of war like that? Well, actually, if they cut down our power grid, there could be more people die as a result of loss of the power grid than would die from a full-scale nuclear war if the power grid didn't go down. Unfortunately, in full-scale nuclear war, you're going to lose power grid too. But yeah, I've gone through these numbers. I've gone through them on this channel before, and I've demonstrated why you might only have 1 in 300 people standing, well, just due to grid down. No nuclear war, just a grid down. In the nuclear war, you're going to take out the predominantly urban areas and the military bases. They don't take out that many people compared to 1 in 300. That stuff could be the most, but it's not going to be like, you know, after 14 days, you know, most of that radiation's gone from a nuclear war. Believe it or not, you can go back outside. Problem is, a nuclear power plant, that stuff's going to be burning off and melting and putting that stuff in the atmosphere for decades. That's fuels your go back outside plants. That fuels a lot. Okay. And the side of nuclear being survivable is horrendous. Any war is horrendous. You know, dadgummit, wars with slingshots were horrendous. What we got today is horrible. It's beyond horrible. I mean, you know, when people in the ancient world would imagine in hell, it was a much nicer place than the kind of wars that we can launch today. So that's what I'm saying. You know, some people say war is hell. Hell's a vacation compared to war. You gotta know what we can launch. We don't need to go there. We need to avoid it. We need to stay out of it if we can. But there are acts that cyber world could attacks that could be on par with a full-scale nuclear attack or worse. If they can find a way to pull down our power grid, yeah, that's worse. That may happen. But, you know, I'm sure a lot of this is bluff and posture. You know, Biden saying this, you know, to try to push the Chinese and the Russians back. Are they going to listen? They listen to the thing he said so far. And you know, a lot of these hackers are really criminal cartels. So maybe inside. There's all kind of individuals and groups out there hacking. And there's more and more and more of them. And it's a profitable enterprise now. So there's a hacking industry that does it for profit. And of course, there are those that may realize, you know, their political motivations. You know, you find a weak link of the countries you want to take down. Most of that's through the internet. So the other thing we ought to do, why aren't we taking stuff off the internet? Why do we have all our critical control systems in our society on the internet? We didn't used to, but we're putting more and more stuff on. We need to back off and pull some of that stuff out so that we can go back to the old ways and be more secure. That is one of my big, they want to do that. That's what they really need to be thinking about. That is what they really, really need to consider. I'm going to do a share here. We're going to talk about a couple of things here real quick, and then we're going to end this video. Why do I say video? Nobody's guessed that yet. Where did I get that language? I see you on the video. Well, watch this video. Who used to say that? Okay. I'll do the share here. So guys, here we are. Here's a map put out where they're thinking that World War III is likely to start. It's got the U.S. exchanging fire with Russia and China and even North Korea. Because most of that stuff would go to the pole this way. So this diagram is not correct as to which direction it would actually fly to. Maybe destination endpoints might not be too far off. Turkey. Guys, Turkey and the United States, even though both are in the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, NATO, we're not getting along very well. Recep Erdogan has got grandiose dreams of re-establishing the Ottoman Caliphate. I said that right. So make him a caliph. You know, I'm not all that up on that, guys, so hang on with me, bear with me there. But one of the things they're unhappy about is we're supporting the Turks. We're supporting the Kurds in Syria. Because the Kurds in Syria are supposedly anti-ISIS. Well, about time we supported them because we supported apparently the ISIS organization before, seems like. At least, if not by intent, by accident, because we dropped a lot of equipment. It just happened to fall in the wrong drop zones. It went to ISIS at one time. So guys, you know, Israel and Iran are shown here. You see the Straits of Hormuz because of, that's again, Iranian tensions there. And in fact, we got so much oil going through there. Kashmir, well, Kashmir could be either Pakistan and India, or India and China, or India and Pakistan and China. And of course, Taiwan, South China Sea, North Korea, these are the points they show. Cyber war in there. I guess these are cyber keyboards these guys are pointing up in the air, right? So there's too many ways that we can get in the world of hurt. That's why I tell you guys to prep. I always have hope for the future, as long as you got a breath in the air. So here we are, dangerous arms race. U.S. a huge risk as China and Russia's military expansions may trigger a nuke war that can't be controlled. Well, that's probably nuke wars. You know, once they get going, tit for tat, guys. Tit for tat. And that's these missiles. I covered this in previous videos saying that, hey, they've got a second big missile base going, not just one. And let's not dwell on that anymore. Let's look at this. We all know we've had these earthquakes up in Alaska. Check this out in USGS. There are a ton of them up in here. Holy smoke, was that 2 in the last hour? So if we were to drill down and look all around the ring of fire. Down, 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 the ring of fire. Ring of fire. Yeah, look here, guys. All these earthquakes right here. One of them was 8.5. They had tsunami warnings, which has been no observed tsunami. Look all around here. This is the Alaskan Peninsula. It's still contiguous land about here. Then it's islands, the Aleutian Island chain. All right, guys, that's it, man. That is, we got the ring of, let me show you this. The Juan de Fuca Plate right here in the corner, so, which it intersects with the San Andreas Fault. It's got a small earthquake. That earthquake is a 2.9. Well, it's not too small. And there's another one on the San Andreas Fault almost right here, and that's 2.5. Actually, there's 2 of them here. Okay, 2 of them, not 1. So here are, guys. This ring of fire about to wake up. This Canadian subduction zone is so far overdue. Is it about to go? San Andreas overdue. Is it about to go? There's plenty to prep for, my friends. Plenty to get ready for. So, we always have hope in the future. I'm going to do a habitat video soon. I really want to do it tonight. I just didn't have time to build the charts, and it's late already. I'm going to do a very hopeful habitat video, gardening videos for hope. Guys, it's very therapeutic to be growing things. To know that you're creating life and nurturing life. It's a very therapeutic thing. More people should get involved in it. In all countries, maybe we'd have more peace if everybody was actively gardening. Only gardeners want to be fighting each other. So, and I got a whole lot of hope in this habitat concept for taking a lot of the stress off the situation that makes people want to fight wars. All right, guys, that's enough said. I'm going to say just hope for the best, pray for the best, and prepare for the worst. And never be scared, be prepared. All right, my friends. With that, I'm going to say a big hearty thank you for watching.